Hi, I'm Erin Anzalone with Utah State University Extension here in Salt Lake County, Utah. So for the last little part of your curriculum, the kids actually need to see pollination and learn, if they don't at this point know, what pollination is. So you can kind of choose where you want to start with this. If your students don't really understand the whole process of pollination, this is probably a good time to stop and talk to them about it. If you're an educator here around Salt Lake County, or at least here in Utah, and you're interested in renting out one of our kits, this is the time I want to show you a lot of what we included in our kit. It's kind of a great time for you to use these pieces. So as you've seen during our videos here on the table, I have multiple puppets here of different types of pollinators. And behind me, I have two boards. They both have Velcro, little see-through Velcro pieces attached to them. On both the stigma and style of one side and the anthers of the other. So we've included in the kit these little pom-poms with Velcro pieces on the back of them, which you can then stick onto the different pieces of your flowers on one diagram. As you're explaining the process of how pollination happens, feel free, use the puppets, bring them up to the board to explain how they get the pollen on them, and then bring it over to the next flower and to the other part. If that came, I guess I should have started on the anther, but either way, you get the point of how you can move the pollen on the different boards here and really show them how pollen is transferred. We also included and went ahead and sewed onto these bee puppets that are in the kit their little pollen baskets. So all bees have these tiny little baskets on the backs of their legs that some of the pollen gets caught in. This is actually the pollen that they take back to the hive and feed the young with. So this is a really good little section for you to teach them about pollination. Also, these are pretty cool. An artist here made these really nice big felt flower kind of diagrams. These are a lot of fun too. Let the kids have them. They're soft, they're neat. Let the kids take the different kinds of pollinators and use them. So this is a cactus flower, blooms at night. Bats are out at night, right? So they can then take the bat puppet and use it to come down and actually pollinate into the flower. These are really neat pieces of our kit. We're really happy that the artist made them for us. Not only do we have the cactus flower for all of our night pollinators, but we have honeysuckles. We have an example of penstemon. And we also have a giant sunflower. So this is a cool one for all of the pollinators that kind of need that flat landing space to come and get the nectar from. Also included in the kit to help with this kind of part of the curriculum is our giant felt flower that's been sitting behind me. I'll pull the anthers up so you can see. All of these pieces have Velcro on the back, and you do get the felt board also. And this is a really great exercise too to teach the kids about the different parts of the flower. Here it's all labeled out, which is really nice for them, especially for the older kids that can kind of get a little bit more of an extension activity from this. But this is really fun for the little kids too. Again, soft and safe. There are roots included if you can't see them at the bottom. Really neat though. So let me move these back down. And let's jump into the rest of the curriculum so your pups can get ready to graduate. The second part of the activity is a relay race. So now that your students have understood what pollination is, how it occurs, how the pollen actually moves, we talked about those bee baskets that sit on the backs of the legs. We've included in our kit these little cones. These are what we're using as our bee baskets. And set this up any way you want. Choose the course, choose what the end of the race is. But we included these baskets in a piece of rope that we think that you could tie onto the back of your students' legs, and here's the pollen. Their job can be to go collect the pollen from a flower, bring it back to the hive, whatever you want to make out of it. It's supposed to be fun, just for an activity for the kids to take part in. You'll get 4 cones in each kit, and also plenty of little pom-poms that we're using as the pollen, and again, a piece of rope or fabric to tie those onto the back of the kids' legs. Your students are ready to complete the last page of the PUPS program, which is page 9. It's going to ask you what pollination is and how they carry it back to the hive. So have them complete this page while they catch their breath after the race, and we'll see you for graduation.